Welcome to Tabletop Upgrades. If you're not familiar with the channel, then my name's Kev and I make beautiful components for board games. And it's a little business that I started in 2020, which has been, let's be honest, a weird year. Now, in March, I started the business, and since then I've sent over 500 packages. I made 3,000 individual items for the projects. And I've done it all from this little workbench here, and I nearly went mad. So this video is a story of some of the improvements that I've made during my time, what I've learnt, and also how I continue to want to improve and grow Tabletop Upgrades. Welcome to Tabletop Upgrades, a place where I share products and projects that make your favourite games look better, play better and set up quicker. And in this video I'm going to share with you what I've been up to for the past couple of months, because as many of you know, regular watchers, I've started a little business called Tabletop Upgrades, and I sell through Etsy and also my new website tabletopupgrades.co.uk. So I started off very small scales, and I've been absolutely amazed by the demand for my products. I've sent over 500 items out, which has been absolutely amazing. I'm so thankful to every single person that has almost validated my designs by ordering from me, and the amazing feedback they've given. So thank you so much. But that process, as lovely as it's been, has nearly driven me to the brink of insanity. I love designing, I love making, I love manufacturing. And by day I'm a design engineer, and I'm heavily involved in the manufacture of massive items. But to do it in the evening and knock out over 3,000 individual items has basically involved me working until midnight beyond most nights, and it's just completely unsustainable, and I've almost burnt out. But thankfully I found a way around, and I've gone from fulfilling all my orders, albeit on a 3-week lead time. I'm slowly bringing that down, but I'm no longer working late. I'm only working a couple of nights a week now, and I'm having time to develop all the different projects that I'm working on, such as my tabletop game Decline that I've been on and off working on, frustrated by my lack of progress on that. But also I've got 18 products designed for Arkham Horror, the living card game alone, and I've only got 3 of those on just because I've spent so much time making. So this video is basically an update as to where I came from in terms of my process, and where I am now and where I hope to be. And it's all thanks to Kaizen, which is a Japanese lean manufacturing idea, which is about making tiny improvements, continuous improvements, a little change every day to save 2 seconds here, 2 seconds there, and cumulatively it adds up to a better system and, critically, my sanity. So I'll start off by looking at my current setup. I'll just talk you around, and then I'll show you some footage of where I was a few weeks ago. So this is what things look like today. Just in terms of equipment, this is obviously my laser cut. It's got a 300 by 400mm bed size. I haven't got it switched on at the moment because I'm fully up to date thanks to Kaizen. Hooray! It's got a Ruida controller, which is absolutely beautiful interface, much upgraded from many other standard laser cutters. And down the side I've got a few maintenance items, and this little paint holder. I do gold infilling on a lot of my products, and I hold some common tools, the 3 most common tools, and some squeegees there. That was a lean improvement that I made. In the cabinet under here is my mask, which is VOC filtered, strictly not necessary, but you know, you can't look after yourself well enough. Extractor, buffer extractor. I've started magnetising everything so it can't get lost. It's always in the right place. My various infill paints that I use less often. Across here is the chiller, and on top we've got some of my jigs and batch components. Now I'm trying to stay away from batch work, because anyone who knows anything about lean knows that it is one of the wastes, over processing and overproduction. So I'm basically just in time, but these arrows, for example, come out of a single sheet of material. It'd just be so wasteful to cut 15 at a time. I've got a bin that I empty every single day, and I've got some safety equipment. Now this, as you can see, oh, this is interesting as well, magnetised focus, and this is a Kanban card. So this is some, basically I make just in time. So when I run out of something, the Kanban card goes there, and I know exactly what I'm going to cut the next day, so I can plan my time. It means I'm not working until after midnight every single day. So the next thing I will be cutting will be some arrowheads. But look at this, I've got a full box of arrows there, ready to go. So that's about 3 orders worth. So it's really, really slick. But what I'm going to show you now is some footage of what it used to look like. And you can basically get an idea of where I'm trying to get to. A little improvement every single day leads to much improved quality, delivery times, and me not going mad. However, there's always work to be done. Look at this horror show. This is my material store, which is not too bad. This is a joke, and I sort of rattle around in there. So I'm going to make some improvements to that over the coming weeks. I'm going to try and keep you updated. But anyway, we'll go back in time and look at some of the little items that I've been doing to get to this stage here. So every time I want to use the laptop with the laser, I've got to hunt around under here, inevitably plug this in the wrong way. So what I've done, a little magnet on here, that goes on, it's all neat, not going to get damaged. I'm going to pull it off. The washer, notice I didn't put the magnet on there, the washer is always on the top. So plug it in, dead quick, looks after my cable, and it goes up there nice and neat when I've finished. I'm forever leaving stuff on top of the laser, which makes maintaining it difficult and makes starting it up a real pain. So I'm going to try and maintain the discipline of keeping this clean. I'm going to make some little storage for the side of it so that I can keep things like the gold infill paint that I use on my arrows nice and accessible and off the top. Now, still quite a lot of crap to get off the top, but this little device is held onto the side with magnets, so the whole thing can just come off. And in it is my infill paint and squeegees and marking out gear, all within easy reach, so that I don't have to go looking for anything. There's a place for everything. That should really make life a lot easier. Next problem, this. It's the chiller. I need to change the water and there's always stuff around. It's a complete nightmare, so I need to make some kind of way for the chiller to be able to be turned through 90 degrees so that I can access the pipework and better maintain it. So I think I'm going to make a little skid for the bottom of it. So I've had a look in my box of bits. I found a bunch of screws, some old casters and a knackered old bit of ply, and that's going to be my little skid so I can turn my chiller through 90 degrees easily to better get at the pipework. So it's coming together now, just using odd scraps. The idea is to use the head, not the wallet, as Paul Akers says, to solve the problem. Just use something quick and near to hand, test it out. If it works, continually improve it and maybe upgrade it in the future. Things are starting to get a little bit better. But before I get into the cables, I thought of another quick fix. This manual's just been kicking around, getting variously folded and knackered. I'm going to give it a permanent, proper place that's easily accessible. And the maintenance schedule, I am going to pin up where I can actually see it more reliably, act on it. And in time, this could be a checklist. Another improvement, still before I've got to the wiring, put the fire extinguisher in a safe space so that should I ever need it, it's on hand and it's up off the deck, so I'll always know where it is, which could save a lot of expensive equipment, maybe even someone's life one day. Now, a keen piece of lean manufacturing is one piece flow and keeping really low stock levels, and that's actually one place that I'm really good at. I do keep low stock levels, and basically I cut one sheet at a time, and that's 20 alters worth. One sheet gives me about 3 arrows worth, so I'm going to be keeping small stock levels just because it's really efficient in terms of material and time, but I'm keeping them in a pretty massive boxes that are really difficult to access. They look ugly as well, so I've just upgraded to some clippy boxes, £1.50 each. Nice and space efficient, easily accessible. Stacks at the moment, there will be a rack to support them, but that is a big and easy upgrade which saves space and makes life a lot easier. As well as my maintenance schedule fire extinguisher mount. I've also got a little bit of rack in here, so I've got a much smaller bin which I'm going to empty at the end of each session, and I've got my clamps and jigs up at the top there, so I can look after them and maintain them a lot more easily. Still some work to do on here though. Next improvement. When I ship out the altars, I have the 3 back pieces still with the protective film on it, and I stick a little white label on both sides so the customer knows this isn't just a terrible finish, it's to peel them off. And I'm forever looking for the little sheets that hold these on. So no more. They are taped to the front with the reorder barcode, and when I run out I get to this, which is a temporary Kanban card, and I've still got a couple more left, but when I hit this I reorder. Easy. So this is a lot better now, and it's how I intend to keep it. Sorted out the cables, so sometimes I'm going to mount in the vacuum cleaner, and that's going to go up there and project for another day. Plugs mounted on a magnet as normal, very weak, so there's going to be no weird electrical interference going on. Loaded up the storage, colour coded by product, jigs and an empty basket, so I'm going to empty that at the end of every night. Mounted fire extinguisher. This is a bit annoying, but believe it or not, a tea towel is actually the best thing I've found for keeping the noise of the compressor down, but I'm going to look into better sound insulating materials. Another improvement here is my little jig or rather height gauge for setting the focal length. That just clicks on the front, so no more losing that. I've showed you this already. This is the stickers. This still needs a bit of love down this side, the side of shame. So I'm going to get rid of these little boxes and get a dedicated scraps. My little paint holder with squeegees, all the tools I need. So I've got my vacuum picker, pencil and tweezers, and more magnets. I use tape pretty regularly for work holding, and occasionally scissors, so they're just going to sit on the side there. And that is a huge amount better. So the philosophy that I'm sort of signed up for here is called lean manufacturing, and the idea is if you just make changes that are going to save you 2 seconds a day or 2 seconds an operation, you'll save hours and hours and hours. And this is how I intend to keep on top of my orders and get ahead and get some of these extra 20 products that I've got developed actually designed, ready to go onto the marketplace. So you get the idea of the kind of thing I'm trying to achieve. Lots of tiny little improvements to generally make everything flow much smoother and give me more time to develop all the other projects that I'm really excited about working on. So thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't already, check out my Etsy shop and also have a look on tabletopupgrades.co.uk. It'd be a big help if you're thinking of buying something from me. Do buy from that because I can ship it quicker, and also you'll save a little bit of money. So keep your eye on the channel. There's some new products coming out really soon. I'm also going to do some playthroughs of some games that I got through Kickstarter recently. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.